Hey guys, Michael here, and I just recorded a quick one showing you 13 records, and it was only 24.5 minutes long. I thought, God, I can do better than that. Shit, I'm sure I can do that. I can babble for a half hour, right? I went to the Goodwill today, and this is one of the things I picked up. You may recognize that. I'll just show it to you. This actually, when the first thing I found, and I was just like, oh hell yeah, okay, I know I'm going to spend $1. Turned out it was senior discount day, and being a senior, that means I got it for 75 cents. It looks to be a first press, and is in absolutely gorgeous condition. I just cleaned it, and I've been cleaning stuff, and very happy about that. Found this, and some of them, I was so happy to see they had forgotten to put anything on them. But others, they of course put their damn little stickers on. This is Gordon Lightfoot's album, Sundown. I'm not a huge Gordon Lightfoot fan, but it looked to be in really good shape. The vinyl is. The sleeve has some wear and what have you. Probably the worst condition record of all the records I bought, though, is this one right here. And again, if it's not a first press, it's very early. That is the correct label, I do believe, for the early 70s. Here's kind of a strange one. The Total Blind Buy. I have not cleaned it or listened to it yet. The Outdoor Plumbing Company. God-awful album design. A bluegrass band, and I did find a reference to them on Discogs. They're on a compilation, a double album compilation of bluegrass. I bought it for a couple of reasons. One, it's in absolutely great shape. Two, there's a cover of Baby Blue by Bob Dylan on it. And three, it's signed by the band. And there were a couple of other similar types of albums there that I passed on. They looked like they were going to be too gospel-y or too this or that. And I'm not really into gospel in general, to be honest. Picked this up. This is, as far as I know, the only U.S. pressing of this album on RCA Red Seal, and they're again absolutely beautiful condition, and has the you know, original inner sleeve with the anti-static liner, everything. It's pretty sweet, and I forget the date for this. It's 1975. Regardless, you know, I imagine I'm going to enjoy that record. Pick this up. It's in such great shape in general. There's a little bit of damage here where it got bent on the corner. Linda Ronstadt's album, What's New, produced by Peter Asher with Nelson Riddle, the Nelson Riddle Orchestra. This is, of course, you know, kind of after she'd been really huge in the, you know, late 70s, I think it was, wasn't it, you know, and the early 80s. And then she put, as I recall, this is the one she put out, and everybody was like, what the fuck? But I really love this stuff. And I think Linda Ronstadt has just an incredible voice. She's one of the most pure, natural sopranos you're ever going to hear. Pick this up. I have no idea why, other than that it was in such beautiful shape. It turns out it is a reissue, and I kind of suspected maybe it was. The original was a gatefold, and probably was on the red E label or something. I don't know, but anyway, you know, I got it. Just for those days when I'm really feeling like I need to get whatever. I don't want to offend anybody, but they're not really my cup of tea. This is also not really my cup of tea, and there were a lot of other albums that I could have bought just for camp value, but suddenly It's the High-Lows is the one I had to get for a couple of reasons. One, even though it's missing the inner sleeve, and I should have stole one while I was there. I always steal inner sleeves. Well, not always, because today I didn't, out of some other crap record. But I do think it's a first press. There are two variations of this label, but no real information as to which is first and which is later. The one thing I also noticed that is different is that on the ones that I've seen on Discogs, it showed down this side here was an advertisement for Columbia record players, and of course that isn't there. By the way, you do understand that song is actually a satire or a spoof. I hope you do. Although it's a cool song, and I loved that song when I was a kid. The other reason I had to get it is that it is autographed, although I really don't know any way that I can prove that these are genuine signatures. I have no reason to doubt that. To Nancy, hope to meet you, the High-Lows, which is the one thing that seems kind of odd about it. And then it's signed by Gene Perling, Clark Burroughs, Bob Morse, and Rob Strassen, who were the High-Lows. And this is a pretty early High-Low album. It's their first album for Columbia Records. And so that's kind of cool to have. Here's another one that's kind of an odd thing. Yeah, I've been cleaning the coolest ones first. I don't know if I'm going to... I think this guy later, he joined up with some guy by the name of Milli, and they formed the band Milli Vanilli, right? Anyway, Gino Vanelli, Pauper in Paradise. Gino Vanelli, I'm pretty sure, isn't that the guy from Four Seasons? Kind of looks like him with... unlike another one that I got where I was kind of disappointed when I realized it wasn't in there, it did come with the poster. I think I'll put it above my bed. Yes. Well, I mean, look at that shirt. Open all the way, baby. This is what, from the mid-70s. And I don't know if it's going to be any good or not. I really don't. But it might be just killer. Regardless, it's, you know, first press, original. The inner sleeve is still here, everything. And I have checked it out, and yeah, it's a first press. From 77. So that maybe he got to do that because they got used in the Saturday Night Fever. I don't know, or something like that. I know they were used in something like that, and I have a Four Seasons reissue that's kind of sucky that way. Then I have Mason Williams' Listening Matter, 74 cents. This is a reissue on Everest. I'm trying to remember the name of what the title originally was. It was reissued on Everest after Classical Gas was kind of a hit. You can sort of tell that the liner notes are, but you can also tell by the artwork, which I think is the same as the artwork on the original, how much younger he is at that point. It's listed as a comedy. I've never heard this before. It was in gorgeous shape. It's Mason Williams. I thought, you know, I really gotta check that out. Got this, and this is another mystery one. Mary Wells' Greatest Hits. You know, it's a compilation, not, you know. Here's what makes it kind of a mystery. When I looked it up on Discogs, there's no mention anywhere of this being in stereo. Here, on the label inside, absolutely no reference to it being a stereo record. It's a thick, solid piece of wax. So if it's a reissue, it's not. But there are some odd things about it. Number one is that the catalog number for this is MT616 on the record, and on the sleeve it just says M616. When I looked it up, 1964, and I think it might be a 1964 pressing, but what they showed, it said mono on it, and it didn't have the MT. So I'm just not entirely sure what that is. And another odd thing about it, the stereo ones all said stereo across the top. This is what the mono presses look like. I don't know. But down here, where you see that, the examples I saw had the big M Motown logo. This doesn't. And I really don't know what the deal is with this. But you know, I don't know. Regardless, it's Mary Wells. And Mary Wells was fucking awesome. She was really good. And so I'm super, super happy to have it. And here's the other things that I got that really had me stoked. I already showed you the Green Tambourine, the Lemon Pipers. Really good album of kind of, you know, at times it's kind of almost bubblegum, sunshine pop, some folk rock, and just a little touch of psychedelic. But it's from that period, you know, that era. I don't have the date right here in front of me now, but what was it? I think it was 67 or 8 when that came out. I can't remember. I do remember the song when it came out, and I loved it. And then I stumbled on this. I'm not really sure what the deal is with this. It's an odd kind of, it's a gatefold, and in many ways appears that it might be a first press. It's a little bit thin, but not so thin that you would think, oh, that's from a cheap-ass late 70s or 80s pressing. Mercury label, very obviously a bit of a kind of a, what do you call it, you know, vanity label, custom. There's no reference to this anywhere in Discogs, which is usually where I look for stuff, but I'm pretty sure that this originally came with a poster. And there is reference in Discogs to one person selling it who says, with poster. And I do know also that in Germany, when it was issued, it had a poster. I don't know if the poster was with everything, all of them or not, but I would think so. On the other hand, what I find odd about it is this isn't, from that time, this wasn't a very, you know, you didn't often see an album put together this way, a sleeve. You know, it would have had the openings over here and here, not on the inside. Very unusual piece of packaging there, although not, you know, really weird. And anybody who knows more about this stuff, I'm more than happy to be educated further. Then I found this, 75 damn cents, man. And this is, I am really certain, a first pressing. Initially, you know, I've seen it so often with the blue and gold yin yang MGM label that I thought that was the original label, and it's not. It is this. Everything about it seems to match up and be correct that this is a first pressing, or at least a very early pressing. And I've seen this thing for, you know, in pretty bad shape, and people wanting $8-10 for it and stuff. So to get it for 74 cents, and I swear, man, all of these records, every one of the vinyl appear to be near mint. The sleeves are in varying quality, but this is easily at least a VG+. It's got just a little bit of surface wear, but the image is totally intact, and the spine and everything is really nice and sharp and clean. The biggest flaw is maybe that, which I don't know what the heck that is. It looks like maybe a sticker had been pulled off, and that I forgot about these, you know, that definitely, so maybe it is just a VG sleeve, but the records are near mint. I mean, visually they're all near mint, and I just don't know. The only one I've played so far is Green Tambourine, Lemon Pipers, and there's the last one, the Monkeys Headquarters. I just about pooed my little pants right there, or at least wet them. Well, actually, I was kind of moist. Clutch pearls. I love the Monkeys. I did not love the Monkeys that much when I was a teenager. Well, when they first came out and they were on the TV on Saturday morning and stuff, yeah, we were young and we thought they were just cool as hell. And then very quickly it kind of started going, oh, they're just imitating the Beatles. Oh, they're just, they don't even play the, you know, and so they lost a lot of credibility, and, you know, which is too bad. On the other hand, this isn't a band these aren't guys who said, hey, let's get together and make a band. This is a band that was put together by the industry, for the industry, you know, and all that. Not to belittle, I particularly Papa Nesmith, who's, I think, great. I love that guy. Davy Jones was my least favorite, to be honest. But all of them, you know, they had plenty to offer, and certainly had talent. But, you know, they all auditioned, and you know, they kind of got their thing. At any rate, Monkeys Headquarters, and probably this record looks to be in the best shape of any Monkeys album I own, and I own, I don't know, maybe 4 others. I have a duplicate of one of them. I think it's that Birds and the Bees and the Monkeys thing or something like that. That's what I got. Very happy to have it. Boy, I just hope these all play as beautifully as they look. That was a good start, though.